Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmaster club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I'm Paramjit, signing in from Dubai, your Sergeant-at-Arms for the meeting. We provide a sportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are one of advanced clubs focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has virtual hand raised so that we can all immediately see who is keeping the time. Our Toastmaster for today is Toastmaster Azimuddin, a mechanical engineer by profession. Since 2006, he's a Toastmaster, served as club leader, area governor, and achieved his first DTM in 2008. Please help me welcome Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Muhammad Azimuddin. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Paramjit ji, for introducing me today as the Toastmaster of the Day. So I start with a warm welcome, and I offer my good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my leaders, members, and guests, wherever you are. Today's theme is leadership, negotiative leadership. And before going into it, I would like to inform you that I am today assisted by some good leaders who are going to help me in conducting this meeting. So let me first introduce these role players. The first is the timer. Today's toast. So today we will start with some well wishes, good inspirations, and good energy this meeting till the end. So in order to offer a toast, I have a former scientist, a distinguished leader, educationist, bringing a wealth of knowledge and insight in Toastmasters, super active in leadership in Speak Toastmasters Club, and her dedication to education has shaped the minds and future. Dear members and guests, please help me welcome Dr. Aswati Rajan to offer the toast.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, today we raise our glasses to the quintessential art that is negotiation. It's the subtle thread that weaves through the tapestry of our daily lives, often unnoticed, yet indispensable. From our dining rooms to boardrooms, negotiation is the silent partner in every leader's journey. To the leaders who master this craft, we salute you. Your ability to discern the unsaid, to balance on the tightrope of interest, and to emerge with solutions where everyone feels valued is nothing short of a daily miracle. Negotiation is not confined to the echelons of power. It is present in the compromises we make over our morning coffee, the gentle persuasions to a guest in our Toastmasters meetings, and the bedtime stories that end with just one more. It is the skill that turns adversaries into allies, challenges into opportunities, and dreams into realities. So here's to the leaders who negotiate not just for the success of their ventures, but for the growth and sometimes harmony of their homes too. To those who understand every conversation in a chance to connect, every disagreement a possibility to discover common ground. Let us toast to the negotiators, the leaders who articulate the language of collaboration, who transform the mundane into the extraordinary, and who navigate the complexities of life with grace and tenacity. Fellow Toastmasters, I welcome you all to join me. Kindly unmute yourself and raise your glasses. To the art of negotiation and to the leaders who conduct it with finesse.
The art of
To the
negotiation.
art of negotiation, conducted.
Negotiation.
Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aswati Rajan. You started the day with a good energy. And now the rest of the things I am going to handle. Thank you very much once again. The next role player is timer. And today, timer is Corinne Baptist. Time is the fundamental element of our existence. Time is precious commodity that we can never get back once it is gone. How we spend time ultimately determines our success. Today, the timer is a fast-growing, self-directed leader, Corinne Baptist. Please help me welcome Corinne Baptist to describe the timing's role.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. I'm Karen. My role today is to monitor the session. I will display with different colors, green, yellow, and red, and you have the timing according to the agenda. I will give you my report between each part, prepare speeches, and also evaluators. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Corinne. And my next role will be the grammarian's role. And I would like to say the grammar is the essence of a language. Grammar determines the quality of speech, and so the role is very crucial. Today, we have an experienced Toastmaster, past district director, played gigantic role in the Toastmaster to groom the members of Toastmaster fraternity. Please help me welcome grammarian Nina John. Nina John, please.
Good evening, sir, and all our Toastmasters. The word of the day is strategy, meaning a plan of action. An example of a sentence is, a good negotiator works out a strategy for the desired outcome. And that's your word for today. I hope everyone can use it in their speeches and evaluations. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Nina John, for your good strategy to use very short words to describe your role. Thank you very much once again. And today's theme is negotiative leadership. In today's rapidly evolving world, negotiative leadership is most crucial than ever. With complex challenges demanding collaboration across various boundaries, effective leaders must bring people together, bridge divides, and seek common ground. Negotiative leadership involves skillfully negotiating while prioritizing collaboration, empathy, and win-win outcomes. It's about finding shared objectives in challenging circumstances and moving forward collective towards success. Toastmaster International serves as valuable training ground for developing negotiative leadership skills by fostering effective communication, confidence building, active listening, constructive feedback, leadership opportunities, and networking, all of which are essential for successful negotiation and collaboration in various contexts. as the top advanced premier Toastmasters club. Leadership Speak Club announces its members to develop negotiation skills. Cultivating negotiative leadership begins with a receptive mindset, characterized by active listening and a readiness to learn, embracing diverse perspectives and ideas while demonstrating empathy, humility, and patience in interactions with others. Join us, Leadership Speak, in our Saturday meeting to elevate your negotiative skills in shaping a bright future. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow members, and my guests, this is the theme of the day today. And now we are moving to the main part of our program, and that will have our leadership speak and then 5 prepared speeches. And then we will follow a general evaluation. So the first leadership speak, this is an education module. And this is going to create an idea how to create value in negotiation. And today we are going to invite Elena Constantinou to speak on this topic. The speech is a project from Pathways. Let us learn about the objectives of this speech from our evaluator, Youselee Thomas. Youselee Thomas.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, our educational speaker, Elena Constantinou, will be presenting her educational speech. Title is Creating Value in Negotiations. It's a combination of her feedback and evaluation project, which she puts together to give us a brilliant 20-minute presentation. The timer has already indicated. I'll get back to you. Thank you very much. And over to the speaker of the day, Elena.
Thank you very much, Youselee Thomas, for the objectives. So I have something about the speaker. So today we are now waiting for a great speech. And we have chosen a great speaker for this subject. Why? I'm going to unfold it. Elena Constantinou has been honing her negotiation skills over the past 15 years as an insolvency practitioner. She has negotiated hundreds of transactions related to non-performing loans from the side of banks, debt portfolio purchases, from the side of investment funds, and more recently, working on the side of borrowers as a mediator towards finding viable solution. She has also been teaching negotiations and conflict management at the University of Cyprus for the past 2 years and performing research on the topic for her doctorate degree. What fascinates Elena the most is the training work she gets to do with companies on negotiations. She coaches teams and trains departments in banks and large groups of companies on how to use interactive negotiations techniques to create value. She will share with us today the highlights of her research, which is based both on academic research and decades of observations of real business scenarios. Although she recognizes that her presentation focuses on high-stake business negotiations, she welcomes us all to apply the learnings to any type of negotiation, even the negotiations we do on a daily basis with ourselves. With these powerful gestures, let us invite the first leadership speaker, Elena Constantinou.
I went to the market the other day looking for grapefruits. I checked all the stalls and couldn't locate any until right in front of me, there was this bag of beautifully smelling grapefruit. I reached out to get it, thinking, oh my God, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity when another man, an elderly gentleman, reached out for the bag at the same minute. And we looked at each other and started talking. I need this grapefruit. Well, I need them too. Well, can I please, I was here first. No, I don't think you were here first. I always buy grapefruits from this stall. Please, sir, I need this grapefruit. So we went back and forth discussing our individual rights to own this grapefruit. And it was a great price. They were the $5 the bag, but we ended up negotiating a price, with the seller of €5, €7, €9, €10. And half an hour later, we were still standing in front of this stall with a crowd around us, waiting to see who was going to earn the right to this grapefruit. At the end of at some point in the half an hour, I was ready to yield. To be honest, this elderly gentleman was over there wanting this grapefruit. I'm an empathetic person and I'm a giver. And despite my many years of negotiations, I tend to want to please the other side. So before I was ready to, give this bag of grapefruit to them, when I thought, hold on a second, let me use some of my knowledge and some of my learnings on negotiations to see how we can finish this negotiation in the most productive way. So, Madam Toastmasters, honored guests, and fellow Toastmasters, this was a perfect example of a distributive negotiation where there's a pie and we tend to split it in pieces. So anytime somebody wins something, somebody else loses. And that is a pretty tight spot to be in because we don't always want to split the pie. It's all a matter of perception and perspective. And even though I was looking at my 9, thinking it might be a 6, I was insisting on a 9. And my counterpart was also insisting on his perception and his perspective. So there was no way of getting out of this confusion. Until I remembered a little bit of the learnings I learned at the London Business School, which tend to promote that in situations such as this, in high-stake negotiations, we tend to go with our emotional brain, not our rational. So the rational mind fallacy is that we think, we feel, and we go. Well, in this case, we were feeling, we were doing, and then we were thinking. So in my head, I tried to interpret, I tried to bring back my research and my learnings in integrative negotiations. And integrative negotiations show us not to negotiate our positions, but to negotiate our interests and the potential benefits. So we share and explore our deepest interests on which our positions are based. And in this way, check this out, we grow the available pie so that our piece of the enlarged pie is actually bigger than even the original pie itself. So I grabbed the grapefruit and I asked the elderly gentleman, what are you going to do with this grapefruit? And why do you need the entire bag? Well, he said, well, my wife is making a cake, and if I don't bring her grapefruits and 20 of them, she will not be able to make this grapefruit, and my whole weekend is going to be, destroyed by my wife, nagging that I didn't make it to the market in time. I looked at the grapefruit and I said, well, I need the juice because I'm going on a diet and I have to lose 5 kilos in 1 month, and I really need the juice. So this is what I really need. So 10 minutes later, we ended up with this. I got my juice and he got his peel. And it was an amazing discovery that we got into a mindset where we created value by not negotiating our position, but asking what and why. Now, by doing this, by creating an integrative negotiation mindset, we are able to discover options which are mutually beneficial. And what we are also able to do, and what we should aim to do every time we get into this difficult situation, is separating the problem from the people. So there is this quote that we always use: be hard on the issue, but be soft on the people. So even though we want to arrive at the result, and we want to be hard on the arguments and the financial results of this result, we want to be soft on the people. Listen, respect, empathize, share. And when heated moments arise, we do what I like to call the negotiation jujitsu. So we avoid escalation by refusing to react and by responding. And this is where active listening and all the things that we do very well come in very handy. So by not asking just what, but asking why, we are able to bring this new information, this creative solution making into the surface. And here I'd like to share another story, a real story of John, the mediator. It's not his real picture, but I liked that picture and I wanted to share it with you. So there was this pharmaceutical company in the States creating this new pill. And for that, they needed a compound that was manufactured by this company in Europe, this very small company that had the patent to this chemical. So for months, they negotiated a deal where for the price, the delivery times, all that stuff was right and great, but they got stuck on the exclusivity issue because the American company wanted exclusivity. No way they were going to invest millions in a pill that somebody else could copy. And this company in Europe was refusing exclusivity. It was just something that they were not going to do. And the deal was about to fall through. So they asked John, the negotiator, to step in and try to resolve this problem. So what did he do? He got on a plane, traveled to Europe. He sat in front of the people and listened and asked why. He didn't make any assumptions. And he didn't avoid asking questions because he thought he knew the answer. And he asked them why. And the answer was, well, we've committed to selling a small portion of this chemical to a family company in Europe that will use it for something totally different, agriculture or something. And we cannot get out of this contract because we're going to have damages. So he took the plane back. John took the plane back, went to the States, and explained to the American company what this problem was all about. So they were able to arrive at a result that involved having exclusivity for the American company, with the only exception being the small amount of chemical that the European company needed to give to their family partner. And in the process, made a very hefty commission. So asking why and not assuming that we know the answers is a very powerful tool and a very powerful technique in our negotiation strategies. So creating an honest exchange of information is definitely the way to go, but also during that, it might be advisable to also create some shared vulnerability, so that where each side is holding the power of the other side into their hands. And that's a very fine line. But usually this is something that can be done with a lot of active listening and a lot of value creation and a lot of joint problem solving, not just adversarial positioning. Now, what we find very useful in negotiations is the use of conditions and contingent covenants, because usually there is an asymmetry of information and there are blind spots and we cannot work around them. And there's some things that we either don't know or the other side will never share. So what we do in those situations, this is a very powerful tool, is to use conditions and covenants so that if this, then that. And that gets us out of many unnecessary discussions. The last technique that I wanted to share, and there are many, but I've chosen my top picks, is negotiating multiple topics at once and making our concessions successively, not all at once. So what I like to agree with my partners in negotiation is, let's not agree anything until everything is agreed. Generally, this is a technique used in politics for a country to successfully gain power over another. And in business, it happens too. So a minute here on blind spots. And there's a big discussion on blind spots, but I wanted to just share a few important questions with you. So blind spots have to do with information that is not visible to us. Maybe it's not relevant now, but it might be later on. And that all comes into our preparation. We prepare not just for our arguments and what our side is going to bring up as arguments, but what the other side might be thinking. What might I be missing? How do the other parties make decisions? What might they know about their negotiating power? What do they think that I don't know? So these are all questions to get around those blind spots. And I know we're all experts in active listening, but in negotiation, there's three important things that we try to listen to. Listen to what is not being said and why. What is not being said, right? Not making assumptions and not answering our own questions, which is something that I do, admittedly, a lot. And using our silence and our pauses to let the other side reveal the information. So every time we take a pause, we gain power and we gain some ground. Now, I want to leave you also with a few tips for effective deal making. And this also comes from years of observation of real business transactions. And the first one is keeping out of the negotiation parties which do not have a constructive attitude towards finding a solution. I know it's very hard to ask the lawyer or the consultant or even the client to step out of the room, but sometimes that is necessary because we need to keep the constructive environment. On the other hand, we need to make sure that we are negotiating with the parties empowered with the decision-making responsibilities. We may spend months negotiating a deal, finding the solution, and then having the other side say, oh, sorry, my board does not approve this. And then it's, we've lost time and credibility has gone down and trust has been affected. So these are two important things that tend to happen very often. And at the end of the day, when we're taking that pause, we want to get up on that balcony and take a bird's eye view of what's going on and ask the other side to join us, not to throw each other off the balcony, but to have a drink and relax and just take a bird's eye view. Now, I could, before I wrap up, I couldn't resist giving you one of my favorite techniques. I don't know if you sail, but this is where nature is giving us a fantastic technique and a wonderful strategy to manage opposing forces. So say you're trying to sail into the wind. The wind is coming and you basically are going backwards. You cannot sail into the wind. So what we do in sailing is we tack. So we tack our boat 45 degrees to the wind, and we sail a little bit to the left, and then we tack and we sail a little bit to the right, and that way we can move against the wind. And this is a wonderful metaphor also for negotiations, because when we're faced with adversity and opposing forces and just no room for sailing or having a decision, what we do is we adapt, and we are flexible, and we move away from the difficulty, but we come back to it and we tack. And that way we get to our destination. So join me in one last exercise, please, to maybe ponder a little bit on what it is that we do when we communicate and negotiate. And take a moment to look at this picture and maybe write in the chat what it is that you observe. What could this picture be? Starfish. So what we're looking at is a rooster. But are we really looking at a rooster? Take a look at this. We're looking at a rooster through a window, a house, from the garden. What could this be? We're zooming out. But are we really looking at a live rooster? Somebody was showing it the other day, and they picked up that maybe this is not a live rooster. And maybe this is not a live girl. Is she a girl playing, or is she on a magazine read by somebody, by the pool, on a cruise ship? But is that a real cruise ship, or is it a poster at the side of a bus? This is the end. Thank you for your patience on this. So this game is very useful to me, and it's about perspective, and it's about the learning of me zooming out of the rooster and seeing this from many different perspectives and accepting a lot of different possibilities, a lot of different realities, and a lot of different opportunities and solutions. And that little game really helps bring you and the other side as well, because what we do for ourselves, we want to encourage our counterparts to also do. That's how we create the value and take a different perspective. So my dear Toastmasters, I am here sharing all this with you because we need more value creation in negotiations. We need people to discuss their needs and not their positions, to explore all the perspectives. We need to respect the appearance, the reality of blind spots, and manage them through professional covenants and risk mitigating factors. It'd be beautiful if we can be all flexible with our direction and our positioning and tack against the opposing wind. Be hard on the issues, soft on the people, because people will get us to solutions. And we can be soft on the people, but definitely the issues need a professional and hard stance. And I invite everybody to climb on the balcony, especially when the emotions heat up. Climb on the balcony, take a breath, take a different perspective, sleep on it. Ask the other side to do the same. And hopefully, I'm envisioning that more and more of us will be able to create this value. I wish all of you to go out, starting from now, creating value in your negotiations, at work, in your home with your teenagers, or even with your own selves. How will you create some value in negotiations today? Thank you.
Wow, what a great speech it was. So the perspective view of negotiation we have learned all together today from Elena. Please give a big round of applause to Ali. So I can summarize some of the points from Elena's speech that don't make an assumption in negotiation. Wrong assumptions can lead to a wrong result. And that even though you know the answer, you don't avoid to ask questions for clarification. I can summarize on and on and on. If I would have not my speaker, prepared speaker, Mary Cusin, she's going to summarize her own experience in her speech today. So my next speech is all about if we were to summarize. And the speech is a project from Dynamic Leadership Level 5, Evaluator Karin Baptiste. I would like to invite Karin Baptiste to please give us some view from the objectives of this speech.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Dear member, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This is my pleasure to evaluate my Cusin. A pathway dynamic leadership is dedicated to lessons learned. She needs to present a speech about a lesson learned meeting that the speaker facilitated, or present a speech about the speaker's leadership experience facilitating the lesson. All the best, Mary. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. Karin? Yeah. The next speaker is Mary Cusin. And she's going to speak on if we were to summarize. And she has displayed a remarkable ability to motivate and empower members, fostering a culture of enthusiasm and excellence within our community. Her commitment to personal and collective growth serves as a beacon of inspiration for all who have had the privilege of witnessing her contributions. When she became the sponsor of her club, she took it as a challenge and met the challenge with a successful membership drive from 5 members to 25 members. She takes the stage. We can anticipate not only a compelling speech, but also invaluable insights gleaned from the experiences as a leader, mentor, and catalyst for positive change. Please join me extending a warm welcome to Mary Cusin, a true exemplar of leadership and inspiration for if we were to summarize. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Cusin.
In 2019, I became the sponsor and the vice president education of a new bilingual French club with only 5 members. What a challenging year it has been. Putting all the members on the Pathways platform and dealing with the uncertainties of the COVID pandemic. I have drawn 3 essential lessons from this experience: emotional management, adaptability, and always moving forward. Dear fellow Toastmaster and guests, can you remember this period? Indeed, we have been hit hard by the COVID pandemic with precise instruction on health standards. What will be crucial in our club is to help people keep their spirits up. Despite this situation being the same for everyone, members react differently. Most are in good spirits, while for others, it's an opportunity to reinvent how they see their lives. My president and I are trying to find ways to keep hope alive for each mindset of our members. I remind you that we only have 5 members. I said, despite this adversity, look at what you still master and cherish it. And consequently, you have time to study the Pathways program and give speeches to share how you overcome adversity with us. That is what it means to apply negotiative leadership with the uncertainties of fate. And later on, Swiss authorities requested that we stay at home. Once again, a twist of fate. That's why we encourage members not only to diligently study the Pathways platform, but also to adapt to new technologies, such as Zoom. At this point, the morale of the member is once again very low. My president and I are trying to find adaptation strategy and instill a mindset filled with hope in them. Our virtual Zoom meetings resemble more of a seance. Can you see me? Can you hear me? We see you, but we don't hear you. You are on mute. Ah, yes. Now you can speak. These amusing moments bring lightness during a very dull period. And that's what negotiative leadership is about, managing the morale of members, trying to keep it high. These challenges have been the best lessons to discover the changing nature of leadership and training. Sometimes you have to let things unfold instead of trying to control everything. This requires deep self-confidence and confidence in our collective abilities as a club. Finally, my president and my team, after implementing a precise marketing strategy, went from 5 to 25 members with 3 full advanced speech meetings. What the members appreciated when they sent me the 360 degrees evaluation and when we met outside Toastmaster meetings was our integrity in everything we undertook. As leaders and members of this club, we embodied the values we preached. We devised a strategy, explained it to the members, and implemented it despite all the obstacles that arose. We held meetings in person, on a Zoom, in hybrid form, regardless of the obstacles that presented themselves. And I would tell them, this is the game of the moment. Let's continue. We don't know what new handicap fate will send us. Let's go. This anecdote of a club that utilized 3 important principles: emotional management, adaptability, and always moving forward. It's a beautiful illustration of how you see the twists of fate. facing situation. It's you who interprets the situation. It's you who is the first responsible for your reaction. And ultimately, it is you who decides what action you will take. Remember and repeat after me. Your intention is revealed in your action. Your intention is revealed in your action. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Mary Cusin, for your wonderful speech. We enjoyed your unique communication style, and that was great for us today. And now I'm going to change the topic. So far, we have learned the rich in education, negotiation, and our soft skills. And this time, I am turning the topic from a seriousness to a humorous topic. And I would like to say, creating humor is a great challenge. And this challenge is done by a person like this, and he is Paramjit Singh. Second speaker, Paramjit Singh, going to speak, win hearts, not the battles. And his speech will be evaluated by Irene Sadia. I would like Irene Sadia to please evaluate. Please give the objectives of the speech.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. And hello, everyone. Today, I am honored and delighted to be evaluating Toastmaster Paramjit, who is presenting a Level 2 Project 2 speech of the Engaging Humor Pathway. The purpose of this project is for Paramjit to connect with his audience and to use skills to connect with them on an unfamiliar topic. I will be paying close attention to his eye contact. Paramjit is presenting a tale-tale speech. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Irene. So Paramjit successfully portrays himself as a character who negotiates happiness, inculcate humor into daily routines, enjoy life by finding joy in simple moments, sharing jokes with others, and laughing at himself. He leads us to the world where cultivating a playful mindset, navigating challenges, fostering resilience, strengthening relationships, and ultimately contributing to a happier life because becomes the ultimate deliverable of life. In his professional life, Paramjit is a design and development manager, NLP trainer, and growth mindset coach. Toastmaster for 4 years, winner of area and division contest in international and humorous speed. We negotiate, as he said, about the theme of the day. We negotiate every day and every moment as an ordinary person or a leader. So it is a must skill for leaders. Please help me welcoming Paramjit. Win hearts, not the battles. Paramjit Singh.
I was enjoying and relaxing in Maldives with the local beauties after getting the biggest gallantry award of the nation. Suddenly my phone rang. Hello, Mr. Modi, why are you troubling me on my vacations? What? China and America are on war, and America needs me. Oh, what? Why are you troubling me? My junior officers are so good that they can handle it. Oh, Joe Biden has requested specially for me for their win. Oh, salam on the side. as I said him, within 30 minutes, Apache, the lethal helicopter came like a thundering voice of my wife in anger. I jumped in and landed on the CVN 72. After getting the salute from the naval staff, I roared the Raptor F-22 at a supersonic speed and utilized a lot of nuclear weapons and other weapons of the enemy. As I was going back, something hit the tail of my plane. And my Raptor F-22 start looking like doing a somersault like a paper coming from the air. I thought it's my end now. Suddenly, a ball of light engulfed my plane and it got an upward thrust. And it started going at the speed of the light and landed at a place. And when I opened my eyes, everything was blue. Everything was blue, everywhere it was blue. I was not able to see anything, but there were a lot of noises, people shouting at highest of their pitch. General Paramjit, Chingpo, General Paramjit, Hanningpo, General Paramjit, Chingpo, General Paramjit, Hanningpo. And I was not able to understand anything. And suddenly, somebody touched my head. It's like a hot hammer. I thought, I am enlightened, but I was frightened. There are a lot of aliens all around me. And their chief said, Mr. Paramjit, welcome to Red Blue Planet in the Galaxy 122. We have got you for a special mission. The Red Planet has attacked us. However, here we don't fight with a weapon. We have our debates. So we were short of a person who can debate. We went for Mr. Smedley, but he is resting in peace and relaxing, enjoying his life in heaven. We requested Mr. Brahm Mammon, but he is also so busy in leading the leadership speak and other different clubs. So ultimately, we have brought you here to do a debate on us. So what I did, I didn't let Toastmasters and Mr. Smedley and Mr. Brown down and won the first debate and debate after debate and debate after debate. And soon the Blue Planet became the owner of all the Galaxy 122. And I was given the role of General Commander of Debates of Galaxy 122. And everybody was shouting, General Paramjit, Chingpo, General Paramjit, Haringpo, General Paramjit, Chingpo, General Paramjit, Haringpo. And most of the best thing, they asked me to marry their most gorgeous lady, a first interplanet marriage. And there will be first interplanet children. Oh, can't you see she's with me? Oh, you can't see, so sad, because you need a special blue goggles to see her. But she wants to say something. Let her listen to her. Okay. Oh, first of all, she wants to be thankful to Toastmasters that they could become the leaders in Galaxy 122. And she's saying that as we don't destroy our different planets by using the weapon, we debate and we discuss. So don't spoil your Mother Earth by destroying one another, but just do the best to do the debates to solve your issues. Oh my, thank you very much, boss. My flying saucer is ready. I have to go And then suddenly come the sorcerer. Oh my God, this is my wife. Paramjit, get up, your office time. I said, what? Oh my goodness, the time you joined Toastmaster, you become mad, half mad. Now you become full mad. You are even night also, you are doing the same Toastmastering. I understood this is another battle. But just recently I learned a lesson that battles should not be won by weapon, but debate and discussion. So I discussed with my wife, and she just asked me, when is your next Toastmaster meeting? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Paramjit ji, for your humorous speech. We really enjoyed the interplanetary marriage. Please give a big round of applause. Coming back to negotiation, dear members and guests, the moment we understand the value of negotiation and apply the skills of negotiation to understand what to learn, what to unlearn, and what to relearn, we get the right direction in our lives to move on the way of success. Further, Francoise Bowen is here to carry forward on this topic. Third speaker, Francoise Bowen. She's going to speak from Presentation Mastery Level 2, and her speech will be evaluated by Braham Memon. I would like to invite Braham Memon to please give us the objectives of the speech.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. And you should be spotlighting Francois here. I'll wait until the Zoom master got this thing right. And the Toastmaster of the day, please. Thank you. So the objective of Francois here is a presentation mastery. She's speaking from level 2, communication style. And today we're going to learn how Francois communicates. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Bram. Negotiating with oneself involves embracing the message of learn, unlearn, and relearn. Recognize the value of continuous growth by being open to new knowledge, letting go of outdated beliefs, and adapting to change. Through self-reflections and a willingness to evolve, personal development becomes a lifelong journey of discovery and transformation. Francoise Bowen is a dynamic leader who is going to deliver the speech, whose insightful speeches have consistently inspired and motivated audience in the leadership speed. Francoise is not merely a speaker, but a catalyst for change, leveraging her expertise and passion to ignite transformational journey for individuals and organizations alike. With a remarkable track record of delivering compelling leadership speeches, she has earned a reputation for her ability of captivating audiences with a powerful storytelling and profound insights. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcoming Francoise Bowen to deliver her speech, Learn, Unlearn, and Relearn. Francoise Bowen.
Wow. Wow! Communication style. Toastmaster of the day. When I think about communication style, a lot of crazy things come to my mind. But we're going to focus on the professionalism of communication. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Anybody familiar with this celebrity on the screen? That's none other than Coach Bram Memon. He held one of his training courses, and this he shared with a lot of us. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Think about it for a moment. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot learn, unlearn, or relearn. Understand your communication styles. I decided to do a Google search about it. And when I Google search, Humble shared a few things. One, communication styles are categorized based on individuals' preferred way of expressing thoughts, ideas, and emotions. All right. Psychologist Byrne recognizes 5 different styles of communications: submissive, aggressive, passive-aggressive, manipulative, and assertive. Then we have Alexandra and Hoscana recognize 4 types of communication styles: relators, socializers, thinkers, directors, based on 2 dimensions: direct versus indirect, and supporting versus control. Murphy acknowledges 4 communication styles: analytical, intuitive, functional, and personal. Author and training consultant Cox outlines 4 types of communication: action-oriented, process-oriented, people-oriented, and idea-oriented style. And business author DS recognizes 4 distinct styles: expressor, driver. I think we all know who in this room quote is about driven by what? I think we all know. Relator and analytical communication style. When I was a child, I talked as a child, spoke as a child, I understood as a child. But when I became a man, and not mean like a physical man, but mature, I put away childish things. Learn, unlearn, and relearn is a growth mindset and process. Are we taking our communication next level up? Do you think, looking at this photo of me as a child in my little nice attire, do you think that my communication style then still applies today? Let's look at this. I did a spiritual gift survey, and all of us that are Christians, we are guided by our spiritual life to help us in our physical. And my top 3 gifts: mercy showing, evangelism, serving and administration, which is a tie. Now, I honestly thought that my number 1 was giving, because I love to give, not just of my time, but also money. I could have the very last $5 and I'm giving that away, just like the lady who gave all of her dime because of generosity. How all of this ties in with my communication style and the standout results. Now, here it is. I did the discover your communication style, and my top is initiated, then supportive, analytical, and direct. Many of us earlier in the year, we were given a task from our Vice President of Education, currently Brahma Mohan, on doing a standout test. And I did this while I was on my sick leave. And this is what my results came out to be. I'm a connector and advisor. How all of this tie in? When I was a member of Leadership Speak, just after the initial stages of the Leadership Speak, I recognized that it's so important for me to be camaraderie, team collaborative. Then I was Vice President of Education of my home club, Antigua Toastmasters Club, and president, and now area director. And I've recognized that my communication styles, situational. How I spoke as a child cannot be like today. But the one thing that remained, however, as a child, which still remains with me today, is humility, humbleness. That is so important. I mentioned earlier about situational on using my communication style. There's a quote I have here, which is something that I shared on my Facebook page. Yesterday's success is not today's strategy. What worked for one will not work for you, so don't copy and paste. Let wisdom guide you. Wise men learn from others. Smart people learn from their mistakes. Foolish people don't learn at all. Learn whatever you learned then, grateful for it. Unlearn what didn't work then. Hey, I need to remove that. Relearn. Let me learn something new and go forward. Leadership Speak is now in 24 countries. There's no way how I spoke as a child I can communicate with leaders in the same way today. 24 countries, 60 plus members. I cannot speak the way as a child then, no. Learn, unlearn, relearn. Take your communication styles higher. My call to action, have you learned, unlearn, and relearn? Back over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Francoise, for your wonderful speech. You gave us something that we can think from our childhood, what we learned, the humbleness and humility that we carry forward all over our life. And that is what we learned at our childhood. Thank you very much for your spiritual gift. Please give a big round of applause. Dear members, we have fourth speaker today. And I would say, do you know what is the powerful mantra to enrich your experience in your life? Yes, it is very simple. Just start over again, and then it will enrich your experience and make you a successful leader. Youselee Joseph is taking forward from here. She is going to lead today to start over with her icebreaker speech. And for her speech, Nicole Miller Douglas will evaluate. I would like to invite Nicole Miller Douglas to please throw light on objectives of the speech.
Pleasant good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. Toastmaster Youselee, negotiative leader, she will have to introduce and rebrand herself as necessary. So this morning, we will learn about Toastmaster Youselee in a new light. Over to you, Senior Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Nicole, for the objectives. Now, I would like to invite the speaker, Youselee Joseph, to introduce herself. This is her first icebreaker speech. Over to Youselee.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Greeting, colleague Toastmasters and guests. Who I am. This is the question that I ask myself over and over again to discover, rediscover, define, and redefine myself. On one hand, earlier in my life, it was easy to find the answer for this question to give to myself. Nevertheless, in the other hand, giving the same answer to other people was like moving a mountain. So it was difficult to dream and plan success in anything when I had big problem to have a good interpersonal communication. I was aware of my problem and I wanted to change that. So 14 years ago, I was a young student in economic sciences, lost in a new city, in a new life, with new people. So I had a silent communication pattern that annoyed everyone. I was so silent. I was invincible. So I decided to become a Toastmaster. And as a young student, I became a member of Amethyst Toastmasters Club in my country to gain confidence and also to find my voice. This voice that I lost following some trauma, especially the death of my parents. At this Toastmasters Club, I found the support that I was looking for, and I learned to speak again. And later on, Toastmasters helped me to shine in my professional life. Last year, I made a 360-degree turn when I arrived in Canada, a new country, new language, with a visitor visa status. And guess what? Unable to return back to my country due to political unrest. The situation was so hard and is still so hard in Haiti that there have been no flight to Port-au-Prince for several months. And here I am again, one more time, in a situation where I have to start all over again with my new, somewhat immigration identity. I am never a refugee or a resident. I am just a foreigner who cannot go back. The only strategy that I have left is to move forward no matter what by studying again. How can I do that? How do I start again when I feel like my identity has completely vanished? So it's time to ask myself, who am I? And time to discover, rediscover, define, and redefine myself. This time through the lens of immigration. Fortunately, I already get my voice. I can use it. So some month ago, I contacted Bram Memon. We were colleagues from another Toastmasters club. And he was very supportive. And then I became member of Leadership Speak. Why not? Toastmaster help once, so Toastmaster can help another time. Joining Leadership Speak is a way of reminding myself that I've already come a long way and I don't lose any of my experiences and values. So starting again is that from the ground zero. Joining this club is to give me a sense of continuity in my life. And joining Leadership Speak allows me to build a bridge between the person that I was and the one that I am becoming. A new beginning with new perspective of improving myself and get better. So studying again, my dear friends, is scary. My sister could tell you how mad I can be in the house. Scary, but there's one thing that I know for sure. I'm ready to make lemonade with my lemon. And you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Youselee, for your wonderful speech. Yes, sometimes we are at a fork where we have to decide whether we give up or start over it again. That is the wise choice to start over it again. Youselee Joseph, she was sharing her story and she actually exhibits an exemplary storyteller in her. Thank you very much. Please give a big round of applause to you, Joseph. Now we have the fifth speaker. She's going to speak from dynamic leadership. And her speech will be evaluated by Tony Brachich. I would invite Tony Brachich to please give the objectives of the speech.
Hello, everyone, and hi, Lydia. The objectives of this evaluation for Lydia's presentation is that she's delivering a presentation on body gestures and facial expressions. And what I'll be evaluating on are two major components. One is evaluating how Lydia establishes an awareness of her intentional and unintentional body language. So that's intentional and unintentional body language, and how she uses non-verbal communication while delivering this speech. And the title of the speech, which is very intriguing, is the why question. Back to you, GE. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Tony. In the moment of confusion and incomprehension, we confront the perplexing reality of being misled by our own judgments. We ask ourselves, why? Why we went astray? And yet, in this labyrinth of doubt, we engage in an inner dialogue, negotiate ourselves to speak and seek a path towards success. But this is not the end. The next day again, the why question confronts us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is now the time to speak on why question. And the speaker is Lydiah Wanjiku. Please help me welcoming Lydiah Wanjiku.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. What is the significance about the why question? Have you ever paused, reflected, and asked yourself the why question this year? If yes, type why. If no, type no. I'm watching. Is anyone typing? The key thing is to keep questioning. Just like what Albert Einstein said, who was a physician, he said, the more questions we ask ourselves, the better we become. The why question will astound you because I'm going to give you 3 instances where the why question worked. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the first and foremost, the Apple company, they were not making profits and they thought about their why. Why were they not making profits? They sat down as managers and they would thought through about the why question. The second one, the International Women Suffrage Alliance. These were women who came together. Then they realized that they had a problem. They had a why question. What was their why question? Their why question was about having an identity card, which they never had. And without that identity card, they could not vote. Without that identity card, they could not buy properties. So they sat and they looked at their why question. The third example, it's about a physician, Sir Isaac Newton. I'm sure you can all remember Sir Isaac Newton. He's remembered because while he was just seated under a tree, an apple fell. Then he asked himself, why did it fall down? Why not up? Why not sideways? But it fell down. He started researching. Fellow Toastmasters, and as I said, the Apple company, when they decided to research about their why question, they came up with a strategy. And that strategy is called the Blue Ocean Strategy, which is a think differently policy that they came up with. And this policy was able to guide them. And finally, they were able to start producing products that they are not mainly in the market. They were the only company that were producing those products. So they realized that the space was huge and they were able to make more profits. And following the change, they came up with the policy, which they were reviewing the policy. And finally, they started making Apple phones, Apple watches, and so on. And they made huge profits. And that is why when you go, you'll find different items that are being made by Apple. Come to the women's suffrage. When they realized that they had a problem with their why question about the identity cards, they started having a rally together whereby they came together and they were going around the town with placards written, they want to be recognized. At the end of the day, it was not easy because they had to march along the streets. And some of them were even jailed. Even others died. But what are we having today? Today, women in the house, you can attest, we all have our IDs. And the reason why we are having those IDs that you have now, it is because after the women marched, there was a revolution that declared the women to be given the ID. And this one happened in 1919 in the United States. The amendment to their constitution was done, and we are all celebrating having our identity cards as women. We are able to buy properties. We are able to vote. Let us come to the last example of Sir Isaac. Sir Isaac Newton gave a very good research. After doing his research, he came up with the force of gravity. And we all know when you throw something up, it will come down. So at the end of the day, he researched to answer his why question. And for me, I have introspected myself. And what I've resolved is, when I want to do something, I ask myself the why question. Why am I doing this? Why did I decide to join Leadership Speak? Because I wanted to be a good communicator. I wanted to become like Bram and be a good communicator to the world. So whenever I do something, I have to ask myself the why question. And just like Apple question, they had the why question and they are able to make a difference. And also the women's suffrage. They are able to take us this far to have the identity cards. And in conclusion, fellow Toastmasters, I leave you with this question. What is your why question? And when you think through and you get to know your why question, please take action. And also keep on reviewing your why question. And when you review your why question, you'll definitely get it better and perfect it. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much for your speech. So this was the end of the prepared speech session. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to frankly say that it is not easy to prepare speeches. And today, 6 speakers prepared their speeches and presented it to you. Please give a big round of applause to all the speakers. In the meantime, I would like to invite Timer to please show the timing slides for the speakers. So it is there. Okay, thank you. Timer, Zoom Master, can we have a voting for the best effort speakers? Thank you very much. So now we're going to start our second part of this meeting. And that is the general evaluation. What is general evaluation, how it is done, and what is the importance of this general evaluation? For that, we have a great leader. Zoom Master, you have removed the poll. Yeah, okay. So today, the general evaluation session will be led by Hannah Smith. She has met enormous Toastmasters from around the globe that made an impact on her in pushing her boundaries and made her aware of the general values of the audience she meets. Beyond her individual contributions, Hannah is also a collaborative force in the realm of public speaking. She understands the power of synergy and have active engaged in fruitful collaborations with other speakers, fostering an environment of shared learning and collective growth. Her ability to seamlessly integrate diverse perspectives and ideas to her presentations and underscores her commitment to collaboration and innovations. Today, we have the privilege of witnessing a great general evaluation. We can anticipate not only an enlightening discourse on leadership, but also a testament to the value of collaboration in driving meaningful change, motivation through evaluation. Please join me in welcoming Hannah Schmidt, a visionary leader and a symbol of inspiration in the world of public speaking. Hannah Schmidt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, for that introduction. Good morning from my side, good afternoon and good evening, Toastmasters and guests and visitors. I'm Hannah, your General Evaluator, and I shall conduct the evaluation section with our meeting. I have an extremely competent and experienced team of Toastmasters to assist me with giving exemplary evaluations to our seasoned speakers for their well-prepared speeches. The very appropriate toast, thank you very much, for the theme of the day was raised by Aswati, and I call on her evaluator, John. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Hannah. Hello, guests, visitors, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Aswati. Congratulations on delivering an effective toast. What a blissful, cheerful, and celebratory toast to the art of negotiation. I enjoyed several aspects and elements of your toast, from the concise and clear message to the positive and uplifting tone, your eye contact, and a heartfelt toast of the theme. You demonstrated a great strategy for delivering an effective toast. You asked me to focus on two elements of your delivery. Your body language that includes eye contact and gestures and voice modulation. You excel in both of these aspects, and you did a great job. I like the way in which you described the theme, which is effective toast, or which is negotiation, and the way you described that you felt the adjectives that you used and all your grammar and choice of words, including what you said, that negotiation is a silent partner of leaders, and how you related the importance and benefits of negotiation in our personal lives, from bedroom to boardroom. If there are two things that I would like you to that you want to consider on, are one, your personal touch. I thought that because you are a leader yourself, you could as well made a good impression and share some anecdotes about negotiation. And secondly, the way in which you ended your toast. I thought it was a little bit lengthy instead of the 2 or 3 words that you can use. All in all, I enjoyed your toast. You might want to consider using a personal anecdote as well as making that your toast include some personal note. Thank you very much. I look forward to your toast. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
John, thank you very much. That was indeed a clear message that you, as you mentioned, from Aswati. You noted on what she did well, and you gave her some recommendations and for her some considerations. Thank you very much. Our Toastmaster of the day, Muhammad. He has led the meeting, and he will be evaluated by Aswati.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So today I'm going to evaluate the Toastmaster of the Day. So before I start, let me give a big round of applause to our Toastmaster of the Day for the wonderful presentation today. The role of Toastmaster of the Day, it requires a mixture of skills. It requires planning, effective communication and organization skills and team collaboration. And today, our Toastmaster of the day, DTM Mohammed, he displayed all these skills. For the benefit of guests, let me tell you all that the preparation for this meeting started well ahead of time. A separate group was created with all the role players on Wednesday, where the role players and the speakers were put in. And then he immediately shared a Google form to collect their introductions. And that was the beautiful part of today's presentation, the way you introduced every role player and speaker. You connected, you asked their take on the theme, you connected the theme and especially their speech with their introduction. So that was beautifully done. And I also loved the way you summarized every speech. You made sure that you come up with some takeaways or the important highlights of the speech and share it with the audience. So that was wonderfully done. And another thing which I loved the most in your today's presentation is the way you manage time, and that is very important, a crucial part to run a meeting seamlessly. I was seeing the agenda. We were on time when we ended the first session of our meeting. So altogether, it was a great presentation with a perfect theme, a very impactful, strong introduction in the beginning, and then the introductions for all the speakers. That was the highlight for me. And to add on few suggestions, in the beginning, I saw that there was some discussion about the changes in the agenda. So we know that it can be a bit of disturbance in between. So it is always better to discuss any changes or modifications in the group or in our WhatsApp group we have, or maybe in the chat box. And regarding your Zoom presence, it was so good, but I would have loved to see more body language or your hand gestures. I think it would have added a better impact, and that connect would have been much better. And also a small suggestion, the introduction was wonderful, but you can cut them a little bit shorter. So that can be considered. So overall, a great meeting, organization, and a wonderful preparation, wonderfully executed too. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Ashwati, thank you very much for that evaluation. Leave away the beginning of hello, etc. Then you can have more time in your evaluation of Muhammad's speech, especially your mentioning on Muhammad's time management. That was good. And also that you mentioned about his body language and his vocal variety. That could add a little bit more oomph to the Toastmaster meeting. Thank you very much, Ashwati. The speech, Creating Value in Negotiations, presented by Elena, our educational speaker, will now be evaluated by Jyoti. Over to you, Jyoti.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day and General Evaluator. To my speaker, I would like to start, you can sing and I'll say the words. Where do I begin to tell the story of this beautiful negotiation presentation that you gave, Elena? Strategic move. You clearly had a great opening when it comes to connecting with the audience. The analogy of a grapefruit, you know, in the learning theory, we always say, start from the known to the unknown. Despite us all being leaders right here, you picked something like the fruit, the juice, and the skin. Perfect example. I loved it. A smart move was, which I noticed and I cannot forget, was how beautifully you brought in credibility to your presentation when you beautifully also slipped in the point of you having studied at the London School, which is a branding when you come as an educational speaker. Though the speech was on negotiation, when we look at somebody who delivers a 20-minute speech, you made us pull the chair to say, okay, this lady is going to give us certain points. I love the way you brought in the why. It was beautiful. It's important. And I have to say, you sailed through it with that particular slide. The framing, we talk about it. For a visual presentation like this on an online platform, for 20 minutes to keep the audience engaged is not easy. And you stole that point. Your presentation slides were brilliant. You had enough to capture and kept it sustained. It clearly stated you were prepared for the presentation. What can I add on? I can only say I want more. I would have enjoyed it when you came in with the last bit of the slides of showing the rooster. And when you brought in there, you brought in a lot of emotion. We were all on high and smiling. That could have been a wrap where you could have ended it with a nice slide of having the bullet points of all that you covered. Because we were so full and I was so engaged and there was no way I was going to drop that. But at that point, I thought the points went on a little bit more. If you would like to consider just controlling that part and bringing it into one slide. Overall, fantastic way of branding yourself, saying the why and talking about the blind spots, strategic move of bringing in realistic examples, a huge topic of discussion brought in well. Kudos to you, and you nailed it. Thank you to the general evaluator.
Youselee, thank you very much for Elena's words. Be soft on the people. And where do I start evaluating Youselee? You mentioned very good aspects of the speech, is mentioning the branding, the framing, and the slides, which should definitely be attended to. Thank you very much. And the bullet points, make those bullet points come out. And that makes the speech more interesting. Thank you very much, Youselee, for that evaluation. Marie's speech. Oh, if we were to summarize, will be evaluated by Karine, our timer. Will you time yourself, Karine? Over to you.
Thank you very much, Anna. This is my pleasure to evaluate Marie for this wonderful speech today. Marie is at that almost last level 5 our pathway. This is an incredible experience she shared with us today about be sponsor of bilingual club. I think we can applaud because the challenge is not easy. She has a club made of 5 people and she has succeeded in having 25 people. During the COVID, sorry. She shared with us her strategy in order to achieve a goal. She has a team and she discussed with this team regularly in order to put in place wonderful strategies. I like the way you use perfectly the technology in order to show 3 elements during your speech. And I think this is for you main key elements you want to share with us. Your Zoom present was perfect because you share your screen and we can see virtually, and this aspect enables us to be engaged with you. You were connecting during your speech with us. Your vocabulary also, you made an effort because you have used different aspects using dialogues. And also you modulated your voice in order to emphasize different sentences. And also you have used gestures. Have you seen? Have you heard? And we can feel different emotions we can share with us. In terms of recommendation, I would like to share 2 recommendations. The first one, when you share the different aspects, the 3 key elements, you can share one by one in order to have the different key elements. instead to have an overview. The second point, in terms of your introduction, you can share a hooked question, for example, in order to have to grab our audience, and we can have maybe a surprise about your speech. So to sum up, your speech was very well structured, using different technical tools, vocal variety, gestures, Zoom presence, eye contact, but you can improve more on two aspects: hook introduction, and also share one by one the three key elements. Thank you very much, Marie. I'm looking forward to your next speech. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Karine, another Toastmaster that's wearing two hats, but I see Paramjit has timed you. Nevertheless, you gave a perfect evaluation on Marie's speech. Mentioning the 3 points of Marie's speech was very well done. I now go over to engaging. Humor is Paramjit's forte, and his speech, Win Hearts, Not Battles, will be evaluated by Arine.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator Hannah. Toastmaster Paramjit, your strategy to connect with your audience certainly took off right from your title speech. Win hearts, not battles. You had me right there. What did I think you did well at? I liked the choice of your title. I definitely liked the eye contact. I could see the intentionality in making eye contact with the audience and with all of us. Your vocal variety, great, and your gestures. I especially liked when I could tell you were at the beach 1 minute, and then you're off to the White House, and then all of a sudden you're on this new galaxy, new planet. And I liked how you kept walking us through one platform to the other. And I kept wondering, what next? What next? So that really drew me and drew us in. I also liked when the leader of the galaxy, you completely changed your vocal variety and it sounded so extraterrestrial. I enjoyed that completely. Of course, you could do better. And I'm probably being very picky here. When they offered you a wife, instead of just reporting what she said, I think you would have really amplified your speech if you allowed the wife or used a tone that would have been like hers, like some squeaky voice or whatever tone you wanted to give her. I think that would have really, really amplified your speech. So overall, I think you really did well at the choice of your topic. Your eye contact was great, your vocal variety, your gestures. But if you just would have given her her own voice instead of reporting for her, this would have blown your speech out of the ballpark. Thank you very much, Paramjit. I look forward to other speeches. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Arine, thank you very much. Arine is one of our new members, yet already an exceptionally seasoned evaluator. She mentioned all the good points about Paramjit's vocal variety. What next? The eye contact and the gestures. Thank you very much. Appreciated. Arine? Francoise' speech. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Her icebreaker speech. No, it's not her icebreaker speech. Learn, unlearn, and relearn will be evaluated by Brown.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. The speech is actually Presentation Mastery Level 2 Communication Style. And here today, we learned a lot about Francoise's communication style and how it has evolved since she was a child. Of course, we don't know what the communication style was while she was a child, but we got the point that when we are children, we communicate in a certain authentic manner, don't we? We just say it the way it is. And then when we grow up, we have to use certain filters to communicate and to be able to inspire. Her communication style, as we found out, is initiator and supporting. So thank you, Francois, for letting us know what your communication style is and what we need to do to learn, unlearn, and relearn in different situations to use our styles. And sometimes we have to use other styles that are not ours. So we have to unlearn our styles sometimes and learn new styles, which means spreading ourselves out and so on. So that's amazing how you put that together. Now, where could you improve, Francois, is that you used slides, and most of us have one screen, so we can only see the slides and a little bit of you on the side. This is all about communication, so we need to see you. We need to see you properly on one screen for those of us who have only one screen. Your eye contact, your gestures, because you're communicating verbally and non-verbally, and so everything has to be aligned. Is your eye contact, your gestures, your smile, your Zoom presence, it's all communication. And was that communications based on initiator and supporting? So if you're using slides, you know, if you could use the slides in the background or you put yourself in the slide, PowerPoint does allow you to do that. So if you can look into that, that'll be great. So technology is something that we need to all learn. So that's one point. The other point I didn't quite get from your communication style is you mentioned that you joined Leadership Speak and there's 24 members from 24 different countries. So how have you changed your style from initiator supportive to, do you need another style? Are you working on that style? What style would that be so that you could be with these 24 people from 24 different countries? I would have liked to see that a bit more. And the other thing I didn't quite get is your spiritual gift, your communication style, and your standout results. How did they really tie into your communication style? All right. So I would think that your spiritual gift, communication style, and standout results, everything is communication anyways, right? As soon as you open your mouth, as soon as you stand in front of people and people see you, even if you don't say a word, it's a communication style. So I would have liked to really more see if your communication style and how it affects all those areas around your life and how you bring that style to bring life to things in a more direct way. Thank you so much for your speech, Francois. Amazing speech in terms of how you researched it and how you brought in learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I always like it when you bring my slide in and show wrong. Okay, I'm the hero, right? I'm just joking. Thank you so much. All the best. Today, by the way, Francois finished her level 2 of presentation mastery, and she had already completed presentation mastery level 3. So today we got 2 more awards in education awards. Today we stand at about 108 education awards. That is number 1 globally, okay, with 52 members. Over to you, Madam G.
Thank you very much. And thank you also for referring to her communication style, comparing the children's style to a different, to grown-ups. And also mentioning about her styles of eye contact, the Zoom presence, which is very important when presenting a speech, and also referring to her slides. And again, also mentioning that she has now got another educational awards, which inspires us or should inspire us to follow suit. Thank you very much, Brown. Yes, now we've got the icebreaker. Usually with the icebreaker, start over will be evaluated by Nicole. Nicole, over to you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, and thank you so much, Youselee, for introducing yourself to us today. You nailed it. I got to know you better. Let's start with your Zoom presence. It was excellent. I could see you, I could see your head, I could see down to a very appropriate portion of your body. And the thing is, because you're introducing yourself to us, you maintain that eye contact. You know about yourself. You presented yourself in a confident way. I loved it. I think it was excellent. Okay, let's get into some of the things that you tell us about yourself. You told us about your pursuit of economic science. You were a student. You had a death in your family. So sorry to hear that. I hope you've been regaining your strength. You talk about starting all over again. You made it seem easy to start over again. You not only introduced yourself to us, you inspired me as well, that if there's something that I need to start over with, then I just have to move forward. Move forward. So you were both introducing yourself at the same time being inspirational. I loved the fact that you highlighted resilience and determination are some of the characteristics that you have. You also indicated how Toastmaster helps you outside of Toastmasters. It's not just within this meeting setting. I heard another presenter spoke to that point before, that Toastmasters meeting starts long before this time, long before the duration of this meeting. Awesome. You said Toastmaster helped you find your voice in your community club, and Toastmaster helped you find your voice again when you had to start over in Canada. Thank you so much for sharing with us the information, the personal information that you shared, as well as inspire us that it's okay to redefine yourself. I want to challenge you, continue to brand yourself in different lights, from different perspectives that you can use in the future. You would be a proactive leader, ensuring that you have, suppose it's a new job that you're going to be seeking out, you would have already practiced how to introduce yourself in that scene. Thank you so much once again, Toastmaster Youselee, for sharing with us. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Nicole, thank you very much. She's also one of our new members and also a seasoned evaluator. And she was standing when presenting her evaluation, which is very important. Also mentioning how Youselee started her life and eventually joining Toastmasters and how she found her voice. A very concise evaluation and letting her to be a proactive leader. Thank you very much, Nicole. Lydia's speech about the why question will now be evaluated by Tony.
Thank you, GE. Fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, and especially you, Lydia. My duty is to present an evaluation not on the content of your presentation, but on the delivery. And as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be on two major aspects. It's going to be on your body language and how was your awareness on your intentional and unintentional presence. And the second aspect will be on the non-verbal communication part of it. How did the pace, variety of your voice, your facial gestures, and your eye contact impact the content of your presentation? And then at the end, I'm going to talk about how your overall impact made me feel. First off, your body language, deliberately your screen was at the upper profile of your body. And some people might say you would like to see the full version of your body. In my case, since I'm always on business calls during the week, the upper profile to me is acceptable. So I want to make that clear. That should not actually be part of the evaluation. However, I did notice that when you were speaking, there was a bit of swaying once in a while this way, and sometimes a bit of rocking that way. Now, not much, and I saw it because I was paying attention to it. So I'm not saying it was distracting, but it could be an improvement. The second aspect, which would be the nonverbal communication, is the pace of your voice, which was magnificent. You kind of had such a good flow. You reminded me of a maestro in his sympathy. The way that your voice moved was so smooth. And your gestures accompanied that. And that's where I make a comment. Your pace could have had a bit of pauses, and your gestures were fluid. You were always gesturing, which is good, better than average, in my opinion. However, I felt there should have been pauses in your gestures, as well as in the pace of your voice that would be synchronized like a maestro. Eye contact was something that I wondered about, because I felt your eye contact was at the screen, but not at the camera sometimes enough. And I suffered from that myself. So again, that's why I paid attention to it. Now, overall, I'm gonna tell you how the impact of your body gestures and nonverbal impact had on me. I felt you had executive presence. You had good presence in the fact that you were confident, you communicated clearly, and you spoke like you knew what you were talking about. And that's executive presence. And people need executive presence to be persuasive, and people have to be persuasive to be successful negotiators. So overall, in summary, you had excellent delivery, good body presence, but some little improvements here and there. And if you say why, I say, why not? Way to go, Lydia. Thank you.
Tony, why not? Why not for Lydia to carry on? Thank you for evaluating her and mentioning about her body language and nonverbal communication and the pace that adds to a few more pauses. And as you mentioned about the impact her speech had. Thank you very much for all your concise evaluations of our speakers. Zoom Master, please launch the poll for the best evaluator, and I am sure this will be a difficult choice because all of them were to the point and concise. And while we wait for the poll to be ready and finished, I would like to ask Karine. She has probably put the times into the chat box again. Beautiful. Thank you very much. She's a very accomplished and experienced timer and has put the times into the chat box. Nina, our well-versed grammarian, has listened very carefully and will now give her report on the appropriate use and some exceptional usage of the English language and who used the word of the day, strategy. Nina.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. And I would say that it was an absolute feast with so many wonderful phrases and so many wonderful words going on. Started with Ashwati, who used words quintessential, weaves through the tapestry, language of collaboration, the art of negotiation, conducted with finesse. Our Toastmaster, Azimuddin, was not far behind. He spoke about the readiness to learn, empathy, although he did mispronounce Jyoti's name as Jayanti, so I think that would be part of the grammar thing. Elena taught us a whole new language in negotiation, distributed negotiation, perception and perspective, integrative negotiation, value creation mindset, mutually beneficial options, people and the problem, separate the two. Negotiation, jujitsu, I love that. And adversarial positioning. All of these had so many different words to think about. Cusin used The word strategy and the phrase catalyst for change. Also emotional management, a twist of fate. Your intent is revealed in your actions. Paramjit ji had win hearts, not battles, and spoke about being enlightened and frightened. Although rather than hit it, I would have preferred just hit. Francoise, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Use the word strategy. Lydiah had the whole blue ocean strategy, which made me very happy, and said, be a community, how she wants to be a communicator to the world. Muhammad Azimuddin described Hannah as pushing her boundaries and talked about fruitful collaboration. And Hannah spoke about the extremely competent people that we have as evaluators. Jyoti spoke about a strategic move, and Maria also used the word strategy. So overall, great. I had a great time. I hope everyone enjoyed all the wonderful phrases that were used. Back to you, Madam General.
Thank you very much, Nina. I see you have lots of paper, and I hope your pencil is not blunt yet. There are sharpeners for that. Let's just stretch for a while and breathe in and breathe out. And just before I give my general evaluation and of what I have observed, our greeter, Arine, hush, all, somebody's entering the room. Have you heard that? When we were talking too much and chatting too much and with one another, hush. Arine, thank you very much. You have done an exemplary job as a greeter. Congratulations. Our SAA, Paramjit, thanks again for starting the meeting on time and for wearing 2 Toastmaster hats today. Well done. Our Zoom master, Nokawe, thank you for finding the speakers, the role players, evaluators so quickly and spotlighting them. Therefore, it is very vitally important for all taking part to rename themselves as allocated by EasySpeak so that the Zoom master can find you quickly, spotlight you, take off the spotlight. Karine, our timer, also a person wearing 2 hats. Your timing was exact and precise. And thank you for sharing the times as one set after each session into the chat box and not after each speaker, just as one. Our grammarian, Nina, wow, she took some time to, to find all the good things that we spoke about, the good language we used, the strategy we use, etc. Thank you. And I think that is all. I think this meeting went off very well. You had excellent speakers, you had excellent evaluators. Now we will see who is the winner about that. Thank you very much to all the speakers, evaluators, role players. You have contributed to the success of this meeting. And this now concludes my evaluation segment. And I'll hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, Muhammad.
Thank you very much, Hannah, for your wonderful evaluation. I am really inspired and I got motivated from my own evaluation that gave me a lot of tips to improve myself. Thank you very much, Hannah, and all the evaluators. So I would like to ask our members, did you enjoy this session? And what is your thought? So I would like to invite everyone to speak on what is their thought. But for the time being, I'm going to invite only one member of our club to express her thought of the day. Jyoti Thomas. Jyoti Thomas, please give us your thoughts on the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, for making me the chosen one. Strategic play indeed. Today's theme, negotiative leadership. Brilliant. Right from the educational speaker to our legal specialist, they spoke about one thing. Why not? To why? Emphasizing on the key points of leadership through negotiation by the educational speaker. Clearly was, how do we strategically bring in something so important as negotiation for leaders at a club like ours? 24 flags furling right there. Let us look at it. Negotiative leadership is about fostering an environment where every voice is heard, respected, and valued. It's not about the dominance that we bring about to a common ground. There's aspiration. I love Nelson Mandela's quotes. It's better to lead from behind and put the people who are in charge right there for us to take care of up in front. A leader arises there. Every leader humbles himself, empowers himself, and there is no personal ego. With that being said, negotiative leadership is everyday life lesson for each one of us. Much more at Leadership Speak, where we talk about self-directed leaders, the importance of bringing in every aspect. Today, we beautifully brought out the theme right from the toast to the last host. What is it we bring to this club and to the bigger group beyond Toastmasters? Thank you. Negotiative leadership it is. Over to the Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Jyoti, for your wonderful thoughts on the day. And now, I guess, are you ready to share your thought? You will be given an opportunity to share your thoughts with Brahm Memon. So I would like to ask our Zoom master if he can present the results of the poll. Great. The leadership speak. Elena Constantinou. Let's give a big round of applause for the best speaker. And the best evaluator today is Jyoti Thomas. Please give a big round of applause to Jyoti Thomas. Wonderful. And now I'm feeling the warmth of this wonderful session. And so, on the back, behind the door, my wife is calling me back. So I'm handing over to Brahm Memon. Signing off. Brahm Memon, please take over.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. And hopefully your wife has made biryani today. And if she has, invite me. I know you don't live too far from where I am. All the
Actually,
best.
she is going with me for the shopping to prepare biryani for my daughter.
Wow. Pick me up some as well. You're lucky man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for such a wonderful meeting and turning up here. There's always things to improve and things that we've done very well. We are doing great. As I just mentioned before in my evaluation, we are at about 108, 109 education awards. One of the top clubs. Last year, this time, we were at about 50 or 60 awards. Go figure, right? And so by the end of this year, June the 30th, we should be hitting perhaps about 130 awards when all the members actually start meeting their goals that they say that they will meet. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let me just address our wonderful guests here who've been sitting patiently and listening to our meeting and what they have to say about our meeting or why they did appear here in the first place. To begin with, I have on my screen Leopoldina Armando. And Leopoldina, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. I know that you were interested in joining and then something happened and we still haven't heard back from you. Are you still interested in joining Leadership Speak or where are you at with now?
Yes, I'm still interested. I'm working on the areas that you told me to work on them. And I'm really doing well to improve and soon I will join you. I really want to be part of this club.
Wonderful. And you are in Uganda, right? You are with Lubowa
Yes,
Toastmasters?
yes, yes, Uganda. Sorry for not keeping my camera on. I'm in Toastmaster Lubowa.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to you joining soon. Next
Thank
on my
you.
screen here is Bridget Pinto. Hi, Bridget. How are you? Are you there, Bridget?
Good morning, Ram. Yes, I am. I'm sorry I cannot put on my camera either. But yes, I enjoyed the meeting and I was glad I attended. I learned quite a bit about how to use some of the strategies presented by Elena for negotiating. And in the job I do, I'm a teacher. I'm an administrator in the teaching profession. I have to negotiate quite a bit. So it will come in useful. But thank you very much. And I will come again.
And would you like to join Leadership Speak?
I would.